गणानां त्वा गणपतिं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमम् ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आनः शृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम्। ॐ श्रीमहागणाधिपतये नमः। ॐ वृषभं चर्षणीनां विश्वरूपमदाभ्यं बृहस्पतिं वरेण्यम्। ॐ तद्विष्णोः परमं पदं सदा पश्यन्ति सूरयः दिवि वचक्षुराततम्। ॐ श्रीं ह्रीं महालक्ष्म्यै नमः। ॐ नमः शिवाय। ॐ श्लीं ध्रीं ज्योतिर्ब्राह्माय नमः। ॐ नमः शिवाय शिवाय नमः शिवाय च धिवाय नमः शिवाय च शिवाय च शिवाय शिवाय च। ॐ हरे राम कृष्ण। ॐ हरे राम कृष्ण हरे राम कृष्ण हरे राम कृष्ण। Any questions?
I have a question about this avasthas.
Yeah.
There is something called eyes and hands that is in the activity.
Yeah.
Panipatra, what is that means?
Okay.
Huh?
Pani Netra. Netrapani avastha.
We saw, yeah. I just
avasthas. In the Sayanadi avasthas.
The Sayanadi avasthas is the activity.
Yeah.
It says this is not there is not there.
Yeah, here is not there, but it is there. I know what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah, in the activity based avasthas basically. So we did not really do avasthas that much earlier, but there are avastha is basically state, what state you are in, and as far as that is concerned, there are some basic avasthas, and then there is an avastha called Sayanadi avastha. And in the basic avastha, there are three kinds of avasthas. One is based on the age. The age is basically a state of being, and the other one is alertness. If you see here, second column. The third one is mood. What mood you are in. So as far as the age is concerned, the possible avasthas are Bala avastha, which is basically infant, just born baby, small baby who needs to be cared for, who needs to be nourished, who needs protection. And then the next avastha, after Balavastha, next avastha is Kumaravastha. Kumara means adolescent. And next is Yuvavastha. That is, you are young and not really adolescent young, but you are young, you are like in 20s and 30s. So that is the most productive avastha.
Mature.
That is basically the planet is very mature, the planet can protect itself, so that is the state of the planet. And then after Yuvavastha, you get the Vruddhavastha. It's not there. No planet seems to be in Vruddhavastha here. So next you get the Vruddhavastha, which is basically old. That means again frail and not so strong basically. That shows some kind of weakness in the planet. And finally Mrutavastha. Mrutavastha means dead. So either almost dead or maybe on the deathbed. It's kind of like that. So these are the 5 states as far as the age is concerned. So you can see, you can use the software. The basic formula is, in art science, you basically divide the sign into 5 equal parts, 6 degree, 6 degree, 6 degree. And the first is Bala, next is Kumara, next 6 degree are Kumara, next is the middle 6 degrees of the sign basically is Yuvavastha. Then the next 3 is Vruddha, next 3 is Mruta. So that is basically for art science. For event science, it is reversed. You go from the end. The last 6 degrees are Balavastha, and so on. You come backwards. So if you take the first 6 degrees of an event sign, it will be Mrutavastha. So that is the thing. But the thing is, this is not, you can't say that just because a planet is old, it can't give its results. I mean, there are some old people who are in their 70s and 80s, but they are so productive. And similarly, there are some people who may be just 10 or 15 years old, but they may have achieved so much. So, for example, by the time he was in 30s, Vivekananda was already a giant in spirituality. Adi Shankara, even at a very young age, even in an adolescent age, he mastered Advaita, he mastered Brahma Sutras, all the Upanishads, Vedas, Vedanta. He was a master in everything by the age of 20, before the age of 20. So you can't say that just because a planet is in Balavastha or a planet is in Mrutavastha or Vruddhavastha, you can't say the results are weak. But technically, if you just use formula based astrology, then a planet in Yuvavastha is strongest to give the results. Mrutavastha or Balavastha, one of the bad avasthas. Yes.
But we do count in the Narayan Dasha, we see the avasthas, what is the state of the planet. When you suppose 4, we divide into 4, which is 4 years.
Right.
So we take avastha is
there is a state, there is a one for not in Narayan, just in Narayan Dasha, even in Nimshotri and other Dashas, when you divide the planet's period into parts, there is one part in which the planet will give the results of its state. Right. So there you combine this, all these 3 avasthas, along with the Senadi avasthas, and along with all other state information that you have, like exalted, debilitated, bone sign, Mula Trikona, all that information. So you take all those into account. There you can pay attention to this. If a planet is really old and pissed off, for example, suppose a planet is in Tenavastha, very sad, Dukhitavastha, that means very sad and very depressed, and the planet is, let's say, old. So some results relating to those avasthas will be given during that particular part. But the whole dasha may not be very terrible. But it is one weakness basically, which will give its results in due time. But it's not everything basically, it's one of the factors. Okay, so alertness is, this is basically, there are 3 avasthas, we say avastha traya. And for many Vedic prayers, you say avastha trayatita for various gods. So here, the avastha that we are talking about is that avastha told in Upanishads, which is basically there are 3 states in which we can exist. Of course, there is a Turiya avastha, there is a 4th state that you can exist, which is beyond these 3 states. But normal people who are in normal plane of consciousness can exist in 3 states. One is awake, you are awake, so you see the reality, the so-called reality. The other state is you are nidrita, you are asleep, so your consciousness is seeing some other reality. Maybe you have a dream, or maybe you have something, you are seeing something else. It's all false, it's not real. But for a saint, even this may be the same. He may not distinguish between what he sees in a dream and what he sees when he is awake. Except that what you see when you are awake, there is some continuity. If you fall asleep and wake up again, there is some continuity to what you see. That makes you think that this is real. But even in a dream, if you look at a small span of time, still there is some continuity. So continuity doesn't really make it real. Somebody was asking me, I'll just deviate a little bit from astrology. Somebody was asking me, if you go to Vedanta, if you read any book on Advaita, Shankaracharya or Vasishtha's Yoga Vasishtham, which is the most brilliant book on Advaita I have ever read, Yoga Vasishtham, written by Vasishtha Maharishi. Actually, it was taught to Rama by Vasishtha. Rama asked a lot of questions about what is God, what is man, what is life, what is Advaita. He asked so many questions, and Vasishtha answers them very carefully, very diligently. So this is like before Rama was sent with Vishwamitra to the forest, there was a big, everybody came to the court. According to the scripture, many gods also descended, and they were listening to Vasishtha speaking. Vishwamitra was there, Vasishtha was there, and Vasishtha was teaching his student in the presence of so many great rishis and devas. So that whole conversation was recorded later by Valmiki as Yoga Vasishtham. So it's actually written by Valmiki, but it's considered to be Vasishtha's work because he just recorded Vasishtha's words. Vasishtha and Rama Samvadam, basically the debate between Rama and Vasishtha. So finally Rama is very satisfied. He understands himself after reading this, and it's an absolutely brilliant book. And especially there is a translation into English by Swami Venkateshananda, Shivananda's student. This gentleman used to have such great memory that he used to travel with Swami Shivananda, the person from the North India. He was a doctor in Singapore. He went back and he gave up everything, that gentleman. So he was with Shivananda. He would travel on a train throughout whole India. Yeah.
Dr.
Swami Sivananda is from Tirunelveli to southern, but
Yeah.
he went to Singapore, then he went to Himalaya Mountain, he established the
Yeah.
ashram.
Yeah.
Rishikesh.
Rishikesh.
Yeah,
Rishikesh.
yeah, that's one.
Yes. So he used to travel all over India to give discourses, and while in the train, basically you have nothing to do. So he used to talk. He used to give discourses, just to couple of students that were in the train along with him. So Swami Shivananda Venkatesananda used to just listen, not write down anything. He didn't know shorthand or anything. He would just listen. And after Swami Shivananda sleeps in the night, this gentleman would be awake. He would remember each word, ditto, basically word to word. He would just type everything, and then he would write down everything, and then he would sleep. So he used to sleep very little, and he recorded his master's words just by memorizing whatever he spoke for the whole day, and then quickly writing it down in a few hours in the night. So he had such fantastic memory. And his translation, he gave a translation of Yoga Vasistham. Usually when you read translations, they basically, even if they are from great masters, they are really, usually, they don't do justice to the works, especially of Maharshi. If you read a work of Vivekananda and somebody, let's say Vivekananda wrote something in Bengali and somebody translates into my mother tongue, maybe you can do justice. But if you are talking about a Maharshi, of course Vivekananda is also a Maharshi, but he operated in Kali Yuga. If you are talking about what Vasishtha taught in Treta Yuga or what some other Rishi taught in Kruta Yuga, and if you try to translate it in Kali Yuga, it's almost impossible to get the right tenor, right essence. But this gentleman did such a great job that I wonder at times that when he actually made this work, wrote this work, definitely some amsha of Vasishtha must have entered him and finished this work. I am very convinced about it. It's a brilliant book. So anyway, stepping back,
I will take the name of the book.
Yoga Vasistham. Actually, the title if you go to Amazon, you can either search for Yoga Vasistham. I think the title of the book is Vasishtha's Yoga. That's what he calls it, the translation. But I think if you search Vasishtha's Yoga, it doesn't come up. Either search for Swami Venkatesananda or just search for Yoga Vasishtha or Yoga Vasistham. But the title is Vasishtha's Yoga. Swami Venkatesananda, he is the writer. It's basically pure Advaita. It basically explains who is God, what is this duality, etc. So why did I come here?
In one of the questions, Rama asked
Oh, yeah.
awakeness, what is like
Right. Actually, I was talking about the continuity. In the awake state, basically there is some continuity. So I was asking about a question that somebody asked. So somebody was asking me, see, in all these books, Advaita books, especially Yoga Vasistham, Shankaracharya's works, it is said that this whole world is Maya. For example, I say there is a computer here, but because my mind is conditioned to think that there is a computer, the computer appears. If I just shut down my mind, if I just go into Samadhi, nothing exists. So it's not really real. So his question is, if it's not real, why is there uniformity? Like for example, you ask him, is there a computer here? He will say yes. You ask her, is there a computer here? She says yes. You ask him, is there a computer here? He says yes. I see a computer. So the fact that so many people are seeing, and also is black in color or maybe red in color, white in color, so everybody sees the same thing. So if it is all Maya, if it is unreal, why is there uniformity? That was his question. I don't have a perfect answer, but my answer is, suppose you go to a movie. There is a screen, on the screen there is a fighting, somebody gets blood, and then he is in big pain. You look at it. If I ask you, is it real or unreal? It is real at one level. It's not completely unreal. Something is happening on the screen. But is it really real? If you step up, if you go to a higher level, it is Maya. It's not real actually. That guy is not really dying, or that guy is not really vomiting blood, or that guy's head is not really being chopped off. It's a Maya created for you so that your consciousness can experience certain things.
All people can experience the same thing.
And everybody watching the movie sees the same thing. Yeah. Is that heroine wearing red saree? Yeah. Is she standing with her hand up? Yeah. So everybody experiences the same thing. But just because so many people are experiencing the same thing, the uniformity basically doesn't mean it's real. Uniformity is not a proof of reality. So anyway, the thing is, the small thought that I want to insert into your mind is, this whole life is basically a movie. The only thing is, some people when they see a movie, they think, oh man, she is crying, oh why should she go through this trouble, why should her husband die and all her money be looted, oh, they cry. When the heroine or hero is in suffering, they cry, they basically feel the pain. When somebody kill somebody, they feel that, yes, I achieved it. Like that, all the emotions experienced by those characters in the movie, they empathize with them. They feel so deeply. But some people, they don't relate that much. It's just entertainment. They just watch it as an observer. They don't really consider it real. They realize that it's all imaginary. They realize that it will all end at one point of time. And then they have to, their consciousness will go into some other thing. That movie is over, maybe next movie will start. It's a different movie. So you will experience something totally different. Or maybe you will walk out of the movie, you will go to hotel, you will experience something totally different. Basically the stream of continuity will end at that time. A new stream of continuity has to start. So you know that it's unreal. So you don't really get so involved in it, deeply involved in it. The thing is, because it's only 3 hours, and based on that time space that our brain is conditioned to operate in for so many janmas, that 3 hours is basically a short time. So we can distance ourselves from what we are seeing. But this life, because it's a much longer time, again if you condition your brain, even this becomes like a 3-hour movie basically. But the thing is, the way our mind is conditioned, it seems so long that you just have no option other than being immersed in it, being so involved in this movie that when the hero is crying, you also cry. When the heroine is excited, you are also excited. That is the problem. If you realize that this whole life is basically a movie, and whatever is happening is akin to whatever is happening on a movie screen.
Like Shakespeare said, right, the whole world is a stage.
Yeah.
And the other way to look at it, they say people escape from reality to see the movie.
Yeah.
They want to escape the problems of life.
Yeah.
The other way.
Yeah. But the thing is, this world is also another movie.
Yeah.
Because you don't think that it is a movie. It is like somebody watches a movie, and then in that movie there is lot of gore. People are being killed, bodies are being chopped off. They get disgusted. Oh, they get into a bad mood. Then they say, I just want to watch a nice comedy so that I come out of this mood. It's basically like that. You see this movie, this life, and you are so depressed, so you want to go watch some other movie. It's basically like that. But the thing is, the difference is, if you see a very gory movie, if you are depressed, if you are disgusted and watch another nice movie to escape it, you know that you are escaping just a maya, but you are involved in it. But in this life, if you are disgusted with the life and then escape to some movie or something else, you don't realize that this is also a maya, like a movie. That's the difference basically. We go through this movie, we watch this movie for such a long time without realizing that this is a movie, thinking that it's actually more than a movie. Anyway, so the thing is, yes.
Maybe that it's we're all trained, like you say.
Yeah. It's all conditioning of the mind.
Yellow saree, so
Yeah.
so you also trained that this color is yellow.
Yeah.
And everyone is trained to follow yellow. So everyone sees the uniformity there.
Yeah.
And the second thing I want to say is that I read in the book, what you see, you think is real.
Yeah.
What you see is not real.
Mm.
What you don't see is real.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Actually, the only reality of the world is Brahman. Everything else is
which you don't
perception.
see.
And that is something that you cannot, that has no gunas, no qualities whatsoever. You can experience it only when you are that. And when you are that, you don't really experience anything. So, when you are that, you are the experiencer, you are the experience, you are the experienced, you are the object, you are the verb, you are the subject, everything basically. And even those who go to the state, when they come back, they experience everything. Unless you are in the state continuously, even though you interact with the objects, the so-called objects that evolved from the Brahman, unless you are in the state, these are all real. So the thing is that to that person who said, if this is all Maya, why is there uniformity? What I said is, first of all, I gave that analogy, and then I said, don't really dismiss all this as Maya. It is Maya, but it is reality to some extent. Just like movie is not completely nonsense. There is at some level it is reality. If you go to a higher level, it's Maya.
This is part of truth. Not
It is partially truth, but not the complete truth. It is one level of the truth. So whatever we see is one level of the truth. So completely dismissing it is also not a good path. In Advaita we say it is Maya, but the thing is, my approach is, I'm basically an Advaitin, but I accept this duality also as partial reality, not as complete reality. It is a partial reality. You live in it, you work with the duality, you whatever your dharma dictates, do that in this duality, but realize that ultimate reality is not this. Ultimate reality is non-duality. So anyway, coming back, so unless you are in the Triyavastha, basically there are three states. One is you are awakened to the reality. Second is you are asleep, so you are close to this reality and open to some other fake reality, the so-called. And the third state is, actually what I said applies to Sushuptavastha. Basically in Nidra you don't experience anything, that is Nidravastha. So awake, asleep, and then dreaming state. Dreaming when you are in Nidra. So these are the three states. So similarly, just like we have these three avasthas, avasthatraya, the planets also have three avasthas. So which state is the most auspicious state? What is your guess?
Awakeness.
In Nidravastha, basically you don't see any reality. And of course, you may say that is the actual reality. I mean, when you are in Yoganidra, that is actually the most, you don't experience anything, but that is the state of reality. But the thing is, we are considering planets as they affect this non-dual world, this dual world. We are seeing planets at a very low level manifestation of the world, how people's lives are impacted, etc. So at that level, Sushupta avastha, Nidravastha is the weakest avastha. You are incapable of doing anything, incapable of seeing this fake reality that the world is. And we are talking about planets' influence on the fake reality of this world. So from that point of view, Jagrata avastha, when you are awake to the reality. So that is the most powerful avastha. So for a planet in awake avastha, Jagrata avastha, gives results fully. And a planet in dreaming avastha, Swapna avastha, it gives half results. Because it's seeing something, it's experiencing something, though not reality. It's experiencing something fake, but it's awake to some extent. And finally, when it is in Nidravastha, it doesn't experience anything basically. It experiences void. So during that state, the planet doesn't do anything, it doesn't impact. But the thing is, like I said, this is from one particular point of view. You have to keep that in mind. And then the mood is, this is actually more important. If you ask me, more than the age and more than the alertness, the mood is more important. A planet may be, for example, see, Shantavastha, peaceful, Muditavastha, delighted, Dinavastha, Dina means helplessness, sad, then Viklavastha, crippled, Kopitavastha means angry, Muditavastha is delighted, and so on. Dukhitavastha means very unhappy, depressed, distressed. So depending on what state a planet is in, that is basically the mood of the planet. Suppose a planet is in Khalavastha, mischievous state, it may be a troublemaker, it may create some trouble. So you should look at this avastha, but the most important avastha is Chainadi. Then Parasara defined all these avasthas, these three kind of avasthas. Later he defined Chainadi avasthas and he said those are the most important. So you should give most importance to Chainadi avastha. So here there are, if I remember right, there are 10 avasthas. I think the list is given in my book, also in BPHS. Here, Prakasana avastha, Vichilipsa avastha and Kautuka avastha. You see some planets in those avasthas today.
Right.
Those are very favorable avasthas. Actually, let me open my book.
Even in Sabha, like Sabha means...
Yeah, Sabha means basically you are at an assembly. 1 second, let me open the book. Yeah. By the way, there is some prasadam here. Please feel free to have it after the class or even now. So Friday was Purnima night. So we did Satyanarayana Vratam on Friday. And actually yesterday I converted the Punah Puja into a homam. So we did Satyanarayana Punah Puja homam. Basically all the 43 devatas that you put on the Peetham for Satyanarayana Vratam, one after the other in the same order, I invoked them in the fire. I invited each of them into the fire and they did their Veda mantras in the fire. Each devata. So the prasadam you can have it.
You have this book on the net or not?
No. It's being sold by Sagar and Sanjay ji wants to sell it. So I, through the Sagittarius letter, take it over. So this is not an e-book yet. But it is, because it's my computer, it is there. Okay, this is the list. So we will go through each of them. So one state is, these are basically states based on the activities of the planet, based on what the planet is doing, not what mood the planet is feeling, or how alert the planet is, or how old and how capable the planet is. It's not based on that. It's basically what activity the planet is engaged in right now. So it's basically all the words used by Parasara are symbols of some activity. So you have to understand what it could mean. So first one is Shainavastha. What does Shainavastha mean? Yeah, Shaina means lying down. Not necessarily sleeping, just lying down. So lying down means you are relaxed. You don't want to do much, you just want to enjoy. So this activity basically doesn't mean that planet is helpless, but planet is relaxed. So whatever the planet is supposed to do, it will do in a relaxed, cool way, as though the planet is in one house basically. It's akin to that.
Is that the same Ananta Sayanam?
Yeah, Ananta Sayanam is basically something that applies to Vishnu, and it's a subcase of Shayana. But bottom line is, Shayana is you just relax. Then next state is Upavesana. Upavesana means you are sitting down. So it's basically more active than Shayana. In Shayana you don't want to do much, you just want to relax. And in Upavesana you are sitting down. So maybe you are sitting down talking, or sitting down eating, or sitting down doing something. So there is some activity, but it is basically half active. The other one was a completely passive but very relaxed state, and this is half active state basically, half passive, half active state, Upavesana. The next avastha is Netrapani. What does Netrapani mean? Netra means eyes, Pani means hands. So what does it mean?
Doing something with eyes and hands.
Yeah, what do you do with eyes? Do you take your eyes out and then wash them and put them back? No. What do you do with your eyes? You watch. And what do you do with your pani, with your hands? You do things. You put this from here, you take it out, you give the prasadam, you eat it. All these things. You press the record button. You are doing things with the hands. So basically you are alert. You are watching things and then you are doing things. So this is actually Netrapani avastha is an avastha when you are active basically. This is an active state. But the thing is, you are just doing things. It doesn't mean you are achieving something. The next state is Prakashana avastha. What does Prakashana mean? What does Prakashana? I see. And it is also, it's actually not considered a very auspicious avastha based on what Parasara taught. So basically, you have to do things, you have to be watchful, etc. So it's an active state, but it's not a very auspicious state. The next state is Prakashana avastha. What does Prakashana mean? Glow, shine, gleam. So this state is basically a state, this akin to somebody who is just glowing. So maybe you are excited about something great happened, and things just happen so easily around you. You don't really have to do much. Things just happen, so you are just enjoying. So this is a very auspicious state. If a planet is in Prakashana avastha, the results of the planets are so easily given. The planet doesn't really have to struggle, doesn't really have to do much. The results are very easily given. The next state is Gamana. What does Gamana mean? Gamana means going. And next one is Agamana. Agamana is coming back. So both these states, basically these are states of some transition. Gamana and Agamana avasthas are changes when there is some transition. The planet is on the move. The planet is in some kind of transition. So again, these are not very favorable avasthas. In these avasthas, the planet's energy is wasted in some kind of changes. Whereas in Prakashana, the planet's whole energy is basically glowing on you. So that is a very auspicious avastha. The next avastha is Sabha or Sabha Vasati avastha. Sabha means an assembly of learned people, like in a king's court. So Sabha avastha or Sabha Vasati avastha means you are in an assembly. Who will be at an assembly? Somebody wise. Otherwise you don't have, in a king's court, in a nice Sabha, you don't, Sabha means basically on the podium, not watching basically. So if a planet is in Sabhavastha, is akin to somebody on the podium in a nice gathering, big gathering. So that means the person has some stature basically. It shows somebody who has a stature, akin to a person with some stature, not only with some stature, but with some stature that's visible to the world. The stature is being used basically, is being put to use. So that means the planet is akin to a person who is being respected basically. So again, this is a very auspicious avastha. What is Again, there is an agama avastha. Apart from gavana, agamana, there is an agama avastha. I am not fully sure what it means. Because agama also means various religious rituals, etc. I am not sure if this is basically, this is about those rituals, etc. I am not very sure. In the book I just translated as equivalent to agamana, but it could be actually some traditional work relating to engaging in some traditional work. Then the next one is bhojanavastha. What is bhojanavastha? Eating. Is it a good avastha?
Not really.
Yeah, if you are eating, basically you are nourishing yourself. So the planet is weak, the planet is hungry, the planet is not really capable of giving these results to the fullest. So it needs some nourishment. So it is basically pursuing some nourishment so that it can give its results. So it's not a very auspicious result. In Prakashana it doesn't need anything, it's just glowing. But in this state, it wants to give results, but it needs to eat some food to give you results. So this is actually a very active state, but not a completely auspicious state. But it's a good state. At least it's not, the planet is not struggling with hunger. The planet is not on hunger strike. The planet is at least eating food so that it can give you results. The next state is Richalipsavastha. Richalipsa means eager to dance. Richa means dance. So Lipsa means desire. So Richalipsa means the planet wants to dance. Is it a good state or bad state?
Good state.
It's a good state. The planet is excited, wants to show off, show its results. I want to make him a big scholar. I want to do it. So it wants to dance. Basically, for that planet making you a good scholar, or making you the owner of a house, or making you married, getting you married. It's basically like a dance to the planet, and it wants to dance. I want to dance. The planet is saying. So it's a good state. So Richalipsa is a very good state. And finally, Kautukavastha. Kautuka means again very eager to give the results. So again, that's a very auspicious state. So whatever the planet's results are, when the results of the state have to be given, the planet will be so eager to give you results. So the results can be easily given. So that's a very good state. And Nidravastha. What is Nidravastha? Sleeping. The planet doesn't want to listen to you. You say, please, I want a wife, please get me married. The planet says, okay, I'm sleeping. After I wake up, just easy. Let me have a nice sleep. It's like when my son or daughter wants something, if my wife is sleepy, she will say, let her go. And then she's just sleeping. It's like that. So the planet doesn't listen to you because the planet is asleep. So these are the Shainadi avasthas. And like you said, you have to especially use them in the 1/4 when the planet gives its results. Do you remember, if you are, for example, doing Narayana Dasha, suppose you find the period when a planet's Dasha is given, results are given in a particular Dasha. Within that portion, I told you the rule to divide into 4 parts when various results are given. Does anybody remember the formula?
Yes.
First, functional benefics, natural benefics. So for benefics, what is the formula? First 1/4? Yeah, it's like good people, they care about their surrounding. So wherever they are, they want to be good to all those people. So the first 1/4, the results of the house occupied by the planet. Second 1/4, after you worry about people, your room, you worry about, what do you worry about?
The one, the one is the last one.
Next one is what? The house you occupy is first. Then, do you care about your own avastha, your own state?
No.
Or do you care about it last? If you are a nice person, will you care about your own state? Are you happy? Are you sad? Will you bother about it as the last thing or first or second thing? Last thing. That should be at the bottom of your mind if you are a good person. So, and where you are should be your first concern. So obviously, the avasthas are the house occupied is the first one, and the fourth one is your own state. Now what are the other two? The house you own and your yogas, who you are with. Which should come first? After bothering about people who are with you, after bothering about the house that you are in, if something breaks down, you fix it. And then will you care about the people who are with you? And the yoga. So second is yogas. And third is
Your own house.
the house that you occupy. And finally, your avasthas. Whereas for a malefic planet, it should be reverse. Okay, good.
No, avastha is first. Is it applicable to all planets? For example,
Whereas for a functional malefic, for a natural malefic, avastha is the first. Am I happy or sad? That is the most important thing. If he is sad, as soon as his dasa comes, he will give you bad results. If he is excited, as soon as the dasa comes, he will give you good results. So self-occupied basically. Think of natural malefics as very self-occupied people. And think of Jupiter, Venus, all these as very nice, benign people. Yes.
is it applicable to all planets? For example,
All
all
planets? Yeah.
For example, maybe some planets being in sleep, they do better job like that. Not like that.
I see. You are saying some planet, even if Jupiter is sleepy, but still he is Jupiter.
Yeah.
So there is some wisdom there. Whereas if a tamasic planet like Saturn, who's or let's say Mars, is asleep, they go to a deep sleep. That is a good way to look at it, because not everybody's sleep is the same. If my wife sleeps, if somebody knocks on the door downstairs, if a small sound comes, she wakes up. Whereas somebody, even if there is an earthquake, they will be sleeping.
Like Bhima is it?
Or maybe Kumbhakarna.
Kumbhakarna, sorry,
Yeah. So somebody may have a bird sleep and somebody may have a Kumbhakarna sleep. So not all planets sleep is the same.
Actually, in due to which it is given for benefits, China is better.
Oh, there you are talking about the Sainadi avasthas. Yeah. But in general, I am answering his Nidra avastha. Saina is different from sleeping. Saina is just lying down, relaxed. So that means you don't really worry about things. Things are actually being done nicely. So you are comfortable with the way things are done. And if a malefic is comfortable with the way things are, if a villain, instead of like fuming with anger, if he is lying down on a bed, okay. If he is doing that, you should be concerned. Oh, what did he do? He must have arranged some way to get things done. Maybe if the villain sends 10 goons to kill the hero, he will be lying on a bed very relaxed, in a very relaxed way. So you should be concerned. Whereas if Vishnu is sitting on a nice bed, basically the Adhyashu, if he is sitting relaxedly, if you see him, you should feel very relaxed. So there is a difference between a benefic being in Sainavastha, a malefic being in Sainavastha. But what he asks is, the Nidravastha, is sleep, is it different? The thing is, the bottom line is, if you think about it, any avasthas, Sainadi avasthas or all those other avasthas, you should basically consider the nature of the planet also. It's not given by Parasara, but you think about it. For example, you talk about, let's say, Vruddhavastha, the age-based avasthas. Mercury is a learner, right? Mercury is basically shows the learning ability within us. If Mercury is in Balavastha, let's say Kumaravastha, is it really bad for him? For all you know, it may be better for him. The learner within you is strongest when you are young. Before the age of 20, you learn so much. And now, if you want to learn something new, you have to struggle. So, as far as the learner within you is concerned, Balavastha is good. So, maybe this is actually not given anywhere. I am just thinking loud. So, maybe for Mercury, being in Balavastha and Kumaravastha is probably not so bad after all. Maybe he is more active in those avasthas than even other avasthas like Yuva, Vruddha, etc. Right? Similarly, Saturn is basically like an old man. And he shows patience, working hard, etc. And if you talk about patience to a 10-year-old boy, will he have lot of patience and discipline? That is not the nature. So, if Saturn is in that avastha, maybe it's not, he is very unhappy in that avastha. Maybe Saturn is in Vruddhavastha. Other planets, when they are old, they can't cope with oldness. Many people can't cope with oldness. But Saturn, naturally being an old kind of person, maybe he can cope with it better. Maybe he is actually wiser then. So maybe for Saturn, being in Vruddhavastha is actually better than maybe even Yuvavastha. So like that, if you think about it, for different planets, if you think about the nature of the planet, if you understand the nature of the planets as given in various scriptures, apart from Parasara, if you read various scriptures, read the description of the planet, maybe you can see which avastha is better for a particular planet. So maybe there is some dependence on the nature of the planet also, apart from the state. So that is a valid way to look at it. So your question is a very intelligent question.
Not that way only. I was talking to him like the planet depends upon its nature. Like Sun being in assembly is very good.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
So
if a Saturn is in an assembly, still he is a Saturn.
yeah.
So it's not, the same Sabhavastha may not be so auspicious for Saturn as it is for Sun or Jupiter or Mercury. Mercury is a scholar, Jupiter is a wise rishi, Sun is a very learned.
He can contribute to such an activity.
Yeah,
There.
he has the nature, his inherent nature is towards contributing to that activity. So when he is in that avastha, he is at ease. Whereas if Saturn, basically like a servant, he is a natural servant. If you put him in a nice sabha, if you put him on a podium, maybe he doesn't belong there. Maybe he belongs a little below the podium, helping arrange everything on the podium. So maybe still, even if he is in a sabha, maybe that's what he does. So the thing is, all these avasthas, Chainaj avastha and other avasthas, you have to use. See, actually, not just this. Any part of astrology, you can't divorce it from your common sense. Common sense should be a part of whatever you do, including astrology. And I am sure Maharishi basically assumed that you would basically take this as the basis, as the basic building block, and then with your common sense build the house of astrology from these building blocks. Any other questions?
You are doing BBHS today?
We'll take it easy. We'll do next class. Any other questions? We'll just do charts or questions.
Actually, I was looking. Unfortunately, doing that. I was talking to her also last week. I saw one girl's chart, small girl's chart. She is mentally disoriented, and she is not physically, mentally handicapped. So in that particular case, because she is born with that problem, so we should look at Rashi chart or this D30.
You should look at both. There is some weakness basically which is shown in D30, but it's manifesting at a physical level also. So you should look at both Rashi and D30.
The Rashi is physical in the sense all physical part, right?
Yeah.
Mental is something.
Right, but the thing is, the mental disability, is it impacting her physical life?
Yes, obviously.
So there should be some link. So Rashi can also be looked at. But if you just want to focus on that, the best thing is look at D30. Do you have the data?
No, I thought so, but
Okay, if you have the data, look at the D30. Definitely, if there is some weakness like that, D30 will have some telltale kind of combinations.
when there was no class, we thought of discussing the charts
I see.
among ourselves as students.
I see. Any charts or questions?
Baby is born. It is said that you want to go to pass the chart. Is it true or
I don't.
is it,
Yeah.
myth that
I don't really know if it's given anywhere in the classics, so I can't really speak for it or against it. But one common sense thing that I would think is probably they thought that we don't really know the birth time for sure. Like you know she was born maybe around 9:30, but maybe 9:32, maybe 9:28. You don't know. So if you know something about the baby, like the baby goes to school at maybe baby got sick during a particular month in the 4th year, or maybe baby the boy or girl when after growing up maybe got married at a particular age, or maybe started going to school on a particular day. So after some, or maybe father got promotion in the 3rd year of the baby. So like that, if you look at the events, you can rectify the time. But if you are making a chart as soon as the baby is born, you don't really have much to rectify. So you are basically talking based on speculative time, assuming that there is some borderline kind of thing. So you may end up wasting your Vagbala. You may say something based on wrong data, and because you say it, it may actually come true also if you are a good astrologer, if you have Vagbala, but that is not really a good use. So some common sense reason like that may be there behind it. I know that there are cases when in the old times, as soon as the baby was born, rishis would come and tell the future, make the chart, etc. So such examples are also given in scripture. So that makes me think that probably such a rule did not exist, but it is given just for common sense purposes, so that you have some life to observe before you confidently say that yes, chart is right, this is the time. So probably that is the reason. My personal advice would be, if somebody comes with a newly born baby, feel free to make the chart. And whenever you are in doubt, just say Sarvam Krishna Arpanamastu and then do it. Don't think that you are doing, then you don't incur any big karmas.
I think one of the fears is that Balariksha,
Yeah, exactly. You better, actually there are some pujas. There are some pujas, especially if some Balarishtas or some really terrible combinations for longevity. Suppose somebody is born with those. Some astrologers even recommend on the 21st day from birth, they recommend Ayush Homam, for example. So in such cases, if you make the chart as soon as birth took place, it will be useful. So though there is a convention, I have a tough time believing that the convention is based on solid logic and also solid guidance from rishis. I'm not convinced. Any other questions?
Regarding Mula Nakshatra, PPHS, the remedies. If the Lagna is in Mula or in Rashi is in Mula, so both they should do puja. There was a question asked by one person to me, like Lagna can be in one nakshatra. Even the moon can be in one nakshatra.
Yeah.
So they said that if they asked me one, that person asked me, their daughter is in Mula nakshatra or Rashi, not by the Lagna.
Okay. Actually, for Mula, all those Abhukta Mula, etc., those doshas for which Parasara talked about remedies, usually people apply it to moon, not to Lagna. It is mainly for moon. But you could extend and say it applies to Lagna. It is mainly for moon, mind.
And does Pada is
mind is under Mula's influence. And who owns Mula? Niruti, the Damaness. So, because mind is under the control of that particular Damaness, it is not so auspicious. So that is why moon in Mula is not so good. If Lagna is under the influence, Lagna is basically like the seat of your intelligence. That is also not so auspicious, but it is better than mind. Mind is easier to control by demonic forces, but the intelligence is not so easy to control. So, I would say moon is more important than Lagna there.
Can I ask you one question? My son, you know the thread ceremony, right? He's going to be thread. So this year we are trying to go India and do something.
Okay.
Can we tell some muhurtas for what is the time?
What is the time frame? So he wants a muhurta for Upanyanam. Right. So we'll just try. What is the time frame you are looking at? Give me the week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks.
July, August time frame.
Next year.
Next year, yeah. Coming.
So next year, July, August time frame.
June to August. So that when their school is over, we can go there and
okay. So next year, let's say from June 25, let us start. 2007. So from around June 25, 2007, he wants to do it in India. Where in India? Pune. Oh, you are from Pune?
You will see his chart in this case?
Yeah, I'll ask you once again. But I just wanted to make the time. Do you know his data?
Yeah.
Okay. 1 second. Okay. By the way, this class we started when I lost the data here, but when we started this class, I just typed control M in Jagannatha Hora. I just started Jagannatha Hora. So at that time, Lagna, Jupiter was exactly in Lagna, in Rashi as well as Navamsa. In Rashi, Jupiter and Mercury were in Lagna. In Navamsa, Jupiter and Venus were in Lagna. So two benefics in Lagna in both Rashi and Navamsa, and Jupiter exactly in the same Navamsa. So this class started at a very good time, very auspicious time. It's not Vargotma. Jupiter is in Navamsa in both Rashi and Navamsa.
Okay.
In Rashi it is Tula Lagna with Jupiter and Mercury in it. In Navamsa it is Vrishabha Lagna, again a Venus Lagna with Jupiter and Venus in it. Jupiter and Venus, yeah. So basically two benefits in Lagna in both Rashi and Navamsa, and one common benefit, Jupiter influencing Lagna fully. So this is a very good class. Okay, what do you say? What is the data? November
30,
1999. Okay.
Time 11.
Yeah.
13. At night, PM.
Okay, I want 23 then. 23:13. 11:13 PM. Lowell. What is the name?
Mayank.
Mayank. Mayank Wadekar.
Y-A-N-K. You spelled it correctly.
Okay. Mayank Wadekar. Okay. Now. Yeah. Okay, if you see the Rashi chart, so
Rashi and Lagna both are same.
he's Simhalagna Simharashi. Okay.
So what is the, is it good that you have your Rashi and as well as Lagna chart both?
It doesn't mean anything. It's neither good nor bad. It's just
different. In one way you can be protected, one way
it is neither good nor bad. Don't think in those terms. But the thing is, we are thinking of next June, July, that time frame, right? So, see, at that time Jupiter is retrograde. On June 25, Jupiter is retrograde. And for this kind of activity, Jupiter is the most important. Yeah, I'll put North India, this also. For this kind of activity, Jupiter is the most auspicious planet. He is the most important planet. So, it's not a great idea to do it when Jupiter is retrograde. If you can do it when Jupiter becomes direct, it will be better. That is first point. We'll see when he becomes direct. And Jupiter is Scorpio, is it good? Is it good to do this when Jupiter is in Scorpio? That is the other question. How is Jupiter?
Jupiter is 9th house.
He is in Scorpio. Right?
Yeah.
So does he have any link over Mantrapada? Because we are giving him a new mantra. If some link of Jupiter on Mantrapada is good to give a mantra at that time. Does Jupiter have, when Jupiter is in Scorpio, does he have any link with Mantrapada? Pardon me? What were you saying? Where is Mantrapada?
From Mantrapada he is in Manakaraka.
What?
From A5
Yeah.
he is in Manakaraka.
Why it is in Scorpio?
For his chart you are looking at.
No. I want to see the transit. So when Jupiter is in Scorpio, next June, July, August time frame.
Jupiter 5th house is good.
No. Forget the 5th house. This is just, I just made a. We didn't even decide the Lagna. I just made a chart for June 25, 9:45 p.m., 9:45 a.m. because that happened to be the time. All we know is on that day Jupiter is in Scorpio. Is that a good house for Jupiter to be if you want to do Upanayana?
4th from the A5.
Good.
Pardon me?
5th house is good. 9th reading.
5th house from what?
He is in 4th house.
See, are you looking at this Lagna? Don't. Because if we do that particular Muhurta, then he will be in the 5th house.
Okay.
The Lagna we haven't decided. We haven't even decided the day. So we just looked at Jupiter. In this particular chart, look at only Jupiter in Scorpio. Now that Jupiter we will see with respect to this chart. Okay? In this chart, the Mantrapada is in Leo. Does Jupiter have anything to do with the Mantrapada?
Yes, he is transiting Scorpio where the
Lord of Mantrapada, Sun, is a Scorpio. So he is transiting. So Jupiter over Mantrapada or Jupiter over the Lord of Mantrapada he has a link with Mantrapada. So Sun is the intelligence behind the Mantrapada basically. So Jupiter transiting over Sun is definitely it is an auspicious thing. So and also from Moon, is 4th house transit of Jupiter good or bad? It's a good transit. Right now is a bad transit. Jupiter is in 3rd house from Moon. Right now he is in Tula. He is in the 3rd house from Moon. It's not that good a transit. But later,
that's why we are moving.
But next year is a very good transit for him. So basically Jupiter's transit is fine. Now the thing is, let's quickly look at.
Good for his horoscope or is for in general?
Pardon me? For him. Just for him. And look at the Vimshamsa. If you see the Vimshamsa chart, the Mantrapada of Vimshamsa, where is it? It's in Vrishaba. And Jupiter will be aspecting it. And Jupiter will be aspecting his own his own natal position, natal Vimshamsa position. And if you look at the transit from natal Vimshamsa moon instead of Rasi moon, he is not actually Simha Rasi then, he is Karka Rasi. So from that, Jupiter in the 5th house of Mantrasthana basically. So from Vimshamsa moon, Jupiter in the 5th house, transiting in the 5th house. That's a good transit. So overall, the Scorpio transit of Jupiter is auspicious. So that is given. Now the second thing is, when does the retrogression end? Let us roughly change it by a month and see if the retrogression ended. No. One more month. Yeah. Between July 25 and August 25, retrogression ended. So let us say August 10. It is already ended. So let us say August 1. So it ended between August 1 and August 10. So sometime between August 1 and August 10, whenever retrogression ended, as soon as the retrogression ended, we can shoot for it. So that is point number 1. So at that time, where will Sun be? Sun will be in Karkataka. Yes.
I have a question.
Yes.
You said it ended on August 1st, but it still says Mar.
Not, I didn't say ended on August 1st. August 1st and 10th.
Oh, okay.
When I made a chart for 10th, he was direct. So it, in between, we didn't find the exact date. If you want, we can do one more. Unfortunately, in the software, I didn't add finding when retrogression ends. 5, he was still retrograde. So between 5 and 10. So 7.
So it ended.
So 5 and 7 he ended, between 5 and 7. 6th is still there. So between 6th and 7. 6, 9, 9:45 and 7, 9:45. So 6, let us say, night 21:45. Basically, I am doing midpoint and approaching.
August 10 is fine.
Yeah.
Till September is a school.
Right. So see, August 6th night also he was retrograde. So sometime on August night 9 or August 10th, August 6th night or August 7th morning he became retrograde. So from August 7th onwards is available time for us. Okay. So August 7th, let us see. August 7th morning, let us see. Morning 10 o'clock. Just to start with, we will decide the Lagna later. First we have to decide the date. So if you make chart now, where is Sun? Sun is in Karkataka. Is that a good transit for Sun? Because apart from Jupiter, you need Sun Bala also. Sun is the Dharmakaraka. So you want Jupiter and Sun, and also you are giving Savitri Gayatri. It's basically the highest form of Sun. So you want Sun to be favorable too. Is the Sun transit favorable transit? He is transiting the 12th house from Andrapada, 12th house from Moon. So is that favorable? Not that good. It's not a good. It's a Manakaraka Sthana basically, 12th house. So should we wait till August 15? That's a good idea if we can. So let us try after August 15. Let's say August 17. It again went into that mode. If I stop the computer now, not an antivirus will be hung. CC.
So still Sun is in.
Yeah. So I think it's not exactly August 17. So let's say August 20. Sun is in Lagna, but he is with Saturn and Ketu.
But Saturn and Ketu is good for traditional.
For Sun it is bad to be with Saturn and Ketu. But the thing is, you are doing something traditional, something spiritual, something traditional, something spiritual, etc. So, and also Sun is in own house. So, will he be capable of tackling the Saturn and Ketu? Probably, because he is in own house. And all these planets.
Mercury also there.
Yes, Saturn, Mercury, Ketu are there. And Mercury is a friend of Sun. So, Mercury can help Sun in controlling Saturn and Ketu. So, it doesn't look that bad. Now, the thing is, we have to decide the date. I mean, we didn't really fix a particular date. It just happened that we just casually looked at a particular date. Now, let us fix the real date once again. Okay.
Can we just look at the calendar just for a second? If it comes on Sunday, ideal.
No, sorry. We will not have that criterion, because if you put a Sunday criterion, we'll have very few options. We'll have extremely few options. That is not easy. 18 and 19 are Sundays.
Weekend.
Yeah. Suppose you do 19 Sunday. Sunday is actually particularly good for Gayatri, Savitri Gayatri Updesham. So if you find 19, it happens to be a Shashti in the morning basically.
On Sapasri Yoga, make Saturn, Ketu and
Yeah.
Venus.
Yes. But Venus is basically in Gandanta. He will be in Gandanta in either case. But instead of Venus being in, actually it doesn't matter. We could, but the thing is, this is Shashti. This is basically not a good tithi to do this kind of thing, unless you wait. Let us say we wait till 12 o'clock. Does Shashti get over then? Probably not. 14% means 1/7 of a day, so roughly 3 hours. So around 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock. So let us say 1 o'clock, or let's say 1:30. Still it is Shashti and Jupiter is at 16 degrees. So let us say 2 o'clock. But the thing is, it is not also that desirable to do on that exact transition of Tithi. But this is an option. If you want basically Sunday, this is a reasonable option. This happens to be a Sunday. It is a Shukla Saptami. Saptami just started. Swati Nakshatra, Shukla Yoga, Garjakarna. Not bad. So this is one option. What is his nakshatra? Uttara Phalguni. Okay. So Surya Nakshatra. Okay. Ravi, Chandra, Kuja, Rahu. So Swati is not bad. It's a Kshamatara. So this is actually one option. But let us pursue further. Forget the weekend criterion. If we pursue further.
So 2 o'clock on August 19th.
Yeah.
August 20th will be in the middle.
Let us say August 26th, next Sunday. Does it happen to be good? Actually,
Close to for his return.
That's fine.
let us say 10 o'clock. Now, that happens to be a Trayodasi. Trayodasi is a very auspicious tithi. It is ruled by Jupiter. So Shukla Trayodasi is a very good tithi. It happens to be a Sunday, and the nakshatra is Uttarashadha. Is Uttarashadha a good nakshatra? I mean, for him it is Janmatara. And doing this kind of activities in Janmatara is acceptable. It is fine. So Janmatara is fine. And yoga is Saubhagya Yoga. The Karana is Taitula Karana, owned by Mercury. And Chandra Hora. Lagna we haven't decided yet. But the thing is, overall, we have let us quickly look at the Navamsa also. This doesn't look bad. Let us look at the Navamsa. In Navamsa, Mars and Sun are together. Saturn is in Venus Navamsa. Then Jupiter is Vargottama. Mercury is exalted Navamsa. Moon is in Friendly Navamsa. So Navamsa looks quite good. Venus is in Friendly Navamsa. So Navamsa looks pretty good on this particular day. So now the thing is, this day looks better than the other one that we already looked at.
Yeah.
So if we do this day, what is the good Lagna? If we want to do on this day, what is the good Lagna? One possibility is to put Lagna exactly on Jupiter. If Lagna is exactly on Jupiter, it's always safe bet. Anything else happens, some saint or some Rishi, some sadhu, somebody will protect his sadhana. Jupiter is basically the great Rishi. So Jupiter's presence in Lagna overrides all evils. So that is an option. And also if we do that, Sun will be in the 10th house.
Right.
So Sun in the 10th house is also good. It's basically Abhin Muhurta. So we can put Jupiter in Scorpio, Lagna in Scorpio. That is one option. Another option is we can put Karka Lagna. If you put Karka Lagna, Jupiter will be in the 5th house, Mantrasthana. But then Rahu will be in the 8th house, but one house. So Rahu in one house, so some sadhana, etc. is shown. And all these planets will be in the 2nd house, showing some Vagbala, some sadhana, etc. So that is also a good option. But probably Scorpio is better. Scorpio is better than Cancer. Practically also, if you want to do it in Cancer, it has to be before sunrise.
Right.
Quite early. And if you want to do Upanayam, there is a lot of procedure before that. So you need to finish the procedure and then the actual Brahma Muhurtam, that is the other thing. See, at the time, when the definition of Upanayam, some people use, see, for marriage also, old days the definition used to be Mangalasutra Dharana. You basically wear that thread. So at the time you tie the knot, that is the actual Muhurta. That is when it has been, it became solid, the relationship. But the thing is, some people, especially Telugu people, Andhra people, they put Jalakarra Bellam, the cumin seed and jaggery made into a paste. The groom puts it on the head of the bride. So they consider that to be the Muhurta. So at the time of the Muhurta, they do that. And later, after maybe another 3 Navamsyas or 2 Navamsyas, when Navamsya Lagna is different, or maybe even Rashi Lagna is different, then they tie the knot. That is actually a secondary event for them. It's a very stupid practice in Andhra Pradesh. So because of that, the nice Muhurta given by Jyotishi may not end up being used. So my father was very adamant. He told at the time of my marriage, he told our priest and also the priest of the bride, my wife's priest, he told both of them, I don't care what mantras you do, what mantras you don't do. I don't care about the rituals, procedures. Do whatever you want to do. But at that time, the Mangalasutra Dharana has to happen. And if you think that Jalakarra Bellam has to happen at that time, do it. Immediately do Mangalasutra Dharana, then do the other procedure. But I want Mangalasutra Dharana at that time. And then after Jalakarra Bellam, all the relatives went away thinking that okay, another 40 minutes Mangalasutra Dharana will come. And then they were called. Now put Aksharasa on them. Everybody, what happened? What happened? Oh, Mangalasutra over. They were all surprised. So like that, my father forced at the time of all our marriages.
Coffee break generally.
Me, my brother, everybody. Yeah, it's basically a coffee break after Jalakarra Bellam. Or some people even go have dinner at that time, depending on the time. So my father forced. This is the definition. Period. So like that, if you know what you are doing, basically you have to be strict. Some priests are adamant. They don't understand, but they think that they understand and they just do their way and they waste the work of a Jyotishi. So you have to be, you have to clearly tell them, this is what I want. Even for Upanayam, I don't know the culture in Maharashtra, but some Andhra priests think that even for that they put the Jalakarra Bellam. So they think that at the time of Muhurta you are supposed to put the Jalakarra Bellam, as though that is the most important thing of Upanayam. The real thing is Brahmopadesham. You give the mantra at that time. So you have to make an arrangement so that whatever procedure they do, maybe 1 hour, maybe 6 hours, maybe 16 hours, we don't care, let them do. But make sure that at the time of the Muhurta, you do the Brahmopadesham. That is the most important thing in the Upanayam. Even if you don't do all other rituals, somebody who has done some sadhana with the mantra, giving the mantra to the person in the ear at that time, using Vaikhari, at that particular time, that is the most important thing. So make sure that you do that. So Karka Lagna is unrealistic. So if you want to do Upanayam at let's say 4:30 or something in the morning, you have to start your pujas at 11 o'clock in the night, which is not going to happen. So we will ignore the Karka Lagna. Simha is not bad, but it's not that good. So we will go with Vrishchika Lagna in afternoon Muhurta. So let us say again 14. Yeah.
Even 1 also.
See, the thing is what?
Even 1 o'clock also can fall.
Yeah, actually Jupiter is what? He is at 16 degrees. Now let us quickly consult the Navamsha. Okay. See, when I made a chart at 2 o'clock, Lagna is already 24 degrees Scorpio. So let us see when it starts. So 1 hour 49 minutes earlier. So, yeah. Why 12 o'clock? Why are you saying 12 o'clock? Why? Oh, I see. You are subtracting. Okay, yeah. Around from 12:10 till 2:30. So 12:10 to 2:30 is roughly Vrishchika Lagna. So within that we need to fix the right window. So let us look at the Navamsha on that day. So in the Navamsha, Jupiter is in Scorpio and Sun and Mars are in they are in Gemini. What is a good lagna here? Suggest me a good lagna. Suggest me a good lagna. And remember that this is Scorpio. What are the Navamsas you get in Scorpio? You start from Cancer and then you go all the way. So what is a good lagna here? Is putting Jupiter exactly in lagna, Navamsa also, is that good? Then Mercury will be in the 7th house, 11th house. Mercury is good. Mars, Moon and Saturn will be, Saturn in the 7th house, not bad, in a friendly sign. Ketu in 9th house. Venus in 4th, Rahu in 3rd, Moon in 6th. But the only undesirable thing is Mars and Sun, they will be in the 8th house. Is that good? But they are Lagna and 10th Lord. Lagna Lord Mars and 10th Lord Sun. They will be together in the 8th house of sadhana, in Navamsa. This is not even Rashi, this is Navamsa of Dharma. So 8th house Mars and Sun, two planets of action, planets of fire. Both of them being in the 8th house can show a lot of sadhana and also a lot of hard work relating to Dharma. So it's not really that bad. So Scorpio Navamsa, Scorpio Rashi, Scorpio Lagna, Scorpio Navamsa is one good option. Any other options you can think of?
No, actually, the lagna we are fixing so that the function goes smooth, right?
Yeah.
So in that case,
No. Who cares about function going smooth? You go through a lot of trouble to do the function, doesn't matter. This is not about function going smooth. This is about you are giving the most important mantra to a person. In old days, this was the first mantra that they would give. No other mantra given before. This is the first mantra you teach the person. They do a few lakshas of this mantra before they become capable of doing anything else. They get the eligibility for anything else. This is basically doing a few lakshas of few lakhs, a few millions of this mantra. That is basically the basic criterion. And then what Gayatri does is, when you do Savitri Gayatri mantra, it basically cleans various nadis in your Sukha Sharira. It basically removes several karmas. So it makes you capable of receiving any other mantras. You start doing other mantras, even if things start happening as a result of the mantra, no use if your nadis are impure. So this is actually the most fundamental mantra, the Savitri Gayatri mantra. So the goal here is the person's spiritual path. The person's spiritual progress should be good, and also he should be useful to the world. So those are the criteria. Function going smoothly is not a criteria. And also function going smoothly or not, you won't conclude from Navamsa anyway. Look at Rashi. So this is actually not a bad idea. What other options do you have? What about Cancer? Is Cancer good?
for Sun, Mars and Sun,
Mars and Sun will be in the 12th house. Sun will be in Manakaraka Sthana. Not so auspicious. What about Leo Navamsa? Leo Navamsa. That will be Anuradha Nakshatra. It is a good Nakshatra for Lagna. So Leo Navamsa. Then Mercury will be in the 2nd house, exalted. So there is full Budhabala. Ketu will be in the 12th house. Is it good for Ketu? Yeah.
yes.
Mars and Sun in the 11th house. For malefics, 11th house is good. Moon in the 9th house. Not bad. Jupiter in the 4th house. Is it good for Jupiter from Lagna? Sukhasthana.
Yes.
In Navamsa, for what is 4th house? Navamsa is Dharma. What is 4th house? The direction. The sense of comfort as far as your dharmic life is concerned, which comes from having a good direction. So Jupiter is driving his Dharma. He is in the driver's house. Very good. Rahu in 6th. Overcoming all the obstacles. Venus in the 7th house. Venus in the 7th, not bad at all. So Saturn in the 10th, not great, but Venus and Saturn have a parivartana. So 7th and 10th parivartana, not bad. But overall, this Navamsa looks very favorable. What about Vargo Navamsa? Is it good? Not at all. Jupiter in Manakaraka. Tula Navamsa, is it good? Not bad. That can be considered. Scorpio Navamsa, good, but one weakness is Mars and Sun in 8th house. Sagittarius, not bad. Sagittarius can be considered. So Sagittarius is okay. This is not so good. So overall, I think after looking at all, Leo stands out. Leo stands out as a really good Navamsa. So we can go for Leo Navamsa. Tula? Okay.
But
if you take Tula,
12 from
Mercury in 12th, he is in one house. Exalted Lord of 12th in one house. That is good for sadhana. Ketu in the 10th house, some spiritual karmas. Mars and Sun in the 9th house, some dharma, some strong dharma. Saturn in the 8th house, lot of hard work relating to dharma. Jupiter in 2nd house. And Lagna Lord Venus is very strong in 5th house. So this is also good. But my advice would be go for Leo Navamsa. So if we want to go for Leo Navamsa, it will be around 12:25 like that, I believe. Yeah. Let's try 12:25 or 12:30. So if you do this, now we have fixed Rasi and Navamsa, and we don't really, it's still not come. So a little later. So let's say 12:30. So between 12:30 and 12:40, that is the 10 minutes when Brahmopdesha should happen.
That's the right time.
Okay. So yeah, I put 12:30, but let us see when this Navamsa starts and ends. Okay. So 4:39 seconds earlier. So we were when I said 12:25, I was almost there.
Yeah.
So it's actually 12:26. 12:30 minus 4:39 means 12:25:30. So let's say 12:26.
Let's do it exactly at the middle.
No. Don't think like that. If you start as soon as that Navamsa starts, by the time he gets the pronunciation, it will take 5 minutes. It won't happen immediately. He should get the swaram right. He should get the pronunciation right. He should basically at the end of this Brahmopdesha, he should be all set. You shouldn't have to teach him again and again so many times. So you should plan like that. So spend 5 minutes with him. So if you start at 12:26 and 10 minutes 15 seconds means we'll just take 10 minutes. So 12:40. So between 12:26 and 12:40. So give a couple of minutes buffer just in case something is wrong. So start around 12:29 like that, 12:28. Just before 12:30 start. Go start telling the mantra. By the time you are done, it will still be in that Navamsa, Simha Navamsa. Now the thing is, we didn't check the Tarabala etc. because I didn't really care that much. But let us, just as a formality, let us check. Hopefully it will be good. So the nakshatra is Shravana. His nakshatra is Surya Nakshatra, Uttara Phalguni. So what Tara is it? Sampat Tara. So it's a good Tara. So Tarabala is actually the other one we saw was Janma Tara, which is neutral. It's not great but not bad. This is actually good. Sampat Tara, Kshama Tara, Sahasana Tara, Mitra Tara, these are all good Taras. So Tarabalam is also good. The Tarabalam is fine. And the Rasi and Navamsa both look good. Tithi is Trayodasi, Jupiter's Tithi. Karna is Mercury's Karna. Mercury is reasonably strong in Uchanavamsa. Shravanam is, the nakshatra is not only Sampattara for him, but it is Vishnu's nakshatra. It's a one of the auspicious nakshatras for most purposes, most dharmic purposes. So Shravana nakshatra is a good nakshatra. Jupiter's retrogression is over. He is basically strong. The Hora happens to be, at the time of the Muhurta, the Hora happens to be Kuja Hora. Basically Hora, the Hora Lord, what houses he owns in your natal chart is important. And if you see, he is 9th Lord. So 5th Lord or 9th Lord Hora is good Hora for doing some dharmic activities or mantras etc. So it happens to be the Yokaraka, the 9th Lord Mars, his Hora. So the planetary hour is a good planetary hour. So overall it looks good. And Saubhagya Yoga, Yoga is a very auspicious Yoga, Tithi is good. The Vara is Surya Vara, Bhanuvara. So this Muhurta looks good. The only weakness is Sun is with Saturn, Ketu and Mercury. But the thing is, if you look closely, Saturn is in Magha Nakshatra, Sun is also in Magha Nakshatra, Ketu is also okay. So they are in the same Nakshatra. So that makes him weak. But if you look at the Navamsa, at least they are all in different Navamsas. Ketu is in Cancer, Saturn is in Taurus, and Sun is in Gemini. So they are in different Navamsas. So it's not that bad. But that is the only weakness. But it can also be a blessing. That weakness can actually turn into a blessing also. The planet of spirituality is influencing Sun, the planet of soul. So it may result in some trouble for the soul in the short term, but it may be good in the long run. So this looks good. This Muhurta looks good.
So how does it fit into his own chart? We just saw the overall.
Yeah.
Gurukrpa, the play that's coming very good.
For me, what were you saying? And this is almost like Abhijit Muhurta. We have Sun in the 10th house. So Lagna is at 4.5 degrees, Sun is at 8 and 3/4 degrees. So 4 degrees difference. If you put exact 8:43, it will be Sun exactly in the Abhijit Muhurta. But this is not exact Abhijit, but it's almost Abhijit Muhurta. So this is overall a good Muhurta. So you are asking how does it fit with the
Zone chart.
The thing is, his Mantrapada is being transited by so many planets. First of all, Shani, Ketu are transiting. The Lord of Mantrapada, Sun is transiting Mantrapada. Saturn and Ketu are transiting Mantrapada. So many planets are transiting the Mantrapada. So it's an auspicious time for learning a mantra.
From there only, right?
Yeah, we looked at only Jupiter. He's asking other planets, etc. How everything tallies.
A5, from A5 where is Jupiter?
Yeah, and also the Lagna we have chosen is the sign containing Sun in his chart, who is the Lord of Mantrapada. So many planets are transiting Mantrapada, and Lagna and Jupiter are fixed over the sign that contains the Mantrapada Lord. So there are some auspicious links. So it looks quite auspicious. Let me just save it. So I tentatively saved it as 12:30, but you can plan from 12:28 till 12:40. So that looks good.
So August 26th, they are all invited.
Are you
Sunday.
arranging a chartered plane, or are you?
That was my question. By tickets for us, right? Wrong trip.
It's a Sunday, so while you are doing all the homas in the backyard of your house, we can do astrology class, and 12:30 means class will be over, and then we'll just have some lunch after the class, and then come for the common blessing. All the best.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions so far? Pardon me?
We look at the charts in the computer, we don't write down, that is habit will go.
Yeah.
Time and dates.
Yeah.
Just look at his chart.
Yeah.
I just want to say. He saw a long time back.
Just a check for me.
What dasha applies in his case? I think is Lagna Vargottama. Lagna is Vargottama, right? I believe so. Lagna is Vargottama. So Shatabdika dasha applies. Any other dashas apply? No. So he is a Shatabdika dasha person. Pardon me? Shatabdika dasha. So, what is the dasha he is running right now? He will run Mars dasha for a long time. 2016, yeah, that's long time. So he is going to run. He is running Mars dasha, Yogakaraka, and also 9th Lord. How he is? What is the Antardasha at the time of the event that we are planning? Moon Antardasha. Is there any chance that Moon would give a Upanayam? Does he have anything to do with the Mantrapada? The Antardasha Lord? He is in F5. F5 is the important thing. Pardon me?
Even Navamsha is in 5th house.
Okay, she says that even in Navamsa he is in the 5th house. And Vimshamsa, if you see, that is the spiritual evolution chart. Where is he? He is in one house. Moon is in one house. Does he have anything to do with the 5th house in Vimshamsa?
Aspecting.
Yeah, he is aspecting the 5th house. So Moon is aspecting the 5th house and has Argala on the 5th Lord. So there is some link. And in Rashi he is in Navamsa he is in the 5th house. In Rashi he is in the Arudha of the 5th house. So it is basically from next March till coming March. So basically that 1 year period is a good period for giving him a new mantra, etc. So that is good. But are there any indications in the annual chart How is the annual chart this year? His birthday is on December 13, 2006. Margasira Krishna Navami. That's when he was born on Krishna Navami during the so the Hora Lord is Jupiter for the next year.
That is good.
Yeah. Why is it good? Because it's Jupiter.
Yeah.
You have too much confidence in Jupiter.
No, not necessarily.
Not necessarily. It depends on how Jupiter is doing in the chart. So we'll see. But
In one case we saw Jupiter.
yeah. Okay. So what is the time that we have decided?
August 26th.
Yeah. August 26. So that happens to be Rahu Dasa, right? August 26 is Rahu Mercury. So does Rahu Dasa have anything to do with does Rahu have anything to do with the 5th house or A5 in Munshamsa?
He is in ninth house.
He is in 9th house and he is the Lord of 6, but all those don't really matter. Actually, there is a Parivartana.
He has some Rahu.
So Rahu gives results as though he is in Aquarius. But apart from it, does he have anything to do with the 5th house or 5th Lord or A5? Yeah, Ketu is the Lord of A5. He is with the A5 Lord. And he is actually aspecting the A5. And moreover, Rahu gives Ketu's results. Rahu doesn't give his own results. Rahu gives Ketu's results in this particular Dasha. In Tithi Ashtatri Dasha, there is no Ketu Dasha. So Rahu Dasha is actually Rahu Dasha and Ketu Dasha. So Ketu's results are given in Rahu's period. So actually this Upayanam is not Rahu's result. This is actually Ketu's result. Ketu is the Lord of A5. He is the Lord of A5 and he is in 9th house of Dharma. So can he give Upayanam? Yeah, he can. And Ketu is the planet of Veda Mantras, etc. So the first Veda Mantra taught to the person, it can be given by Ketu. Right? So it is basically Ketu's result that is being given. And the Antardasha we chose was
Mercury.
within Rahu or Ketu Dasha, it was Mercury Antardasha. Is Mercury capable of giving that result?
Yes.
First of all, he is in Lagna, exalted. He gives very auspicious results.
And Bhoga and Paka is from 5th house again.
From Ketu or Rahu, if you look at Mercury, he is in the 5th house. Oh, by the way, in the Mantrasthana. He is in Mantrasthana from Dasha Lord. And if you look at the Bhoga, it is in the 5th from Mercury. That is in Capricorn. That is the 5th from Lagna. So, Antardasha Lord is in the 5th house from Dasha Lord, Mantrasthana. And the Bhoga of Antardasha Lord from the Dasha Lord, it is in the Mantrasthana from Lagna. So clearly the results are of the Mantrasthana, of the 5th house. So mantra being given in Rahu Dasha, Mercury Antardasha is a very auspicious thing. So we have actually picked we were guided towards a very auspicious time. Even though we did not have this consideration when we did it, it's a very favorable time to do it. But how is the year in general? Forget the Gayatri now, forget the Upayanam, Savitri Gayatri. How is the year in general? Is it an auspicious year or inauspicious year or so average year? The ruler of the year, if you remember, was Jupiter. How is Jupiter?
Jupiter is in 6th house. Many planets are in 6th house.
Many planets are in 6th house. What does that mean? What does that show? Does it show smooth sailing or
No.
some tough waters, some troubled waters? But is the 6th house strong or not?
He is strong. Mars is in his own.
Mars and Sun are quite strong there. 3rd Lord and 6th Lord ganging up in the 6th house in a very dynamic sign.
And with good advisors.
Yeah, with good advisors, Jupiter and Mercury. So this is good. So this is overall good.
Overcome the obstacles.
But the thing is, basically he has all the malefics. Mars, Sun, Saturn and Ketu. 4 malefics in Upachayas, 3rd and 6th houses. So overall this is a year of some activity, some aggressive activity. But he will be able to overcome all the problems that he has. Is there any problem of any possibility of any health problems, etc.? Not that much. When you have so many malefics in the 6th and 3rd houses, there may be, but they will be easily overcome. But at school he should be careful, not fight too much. because then he may be a little aggressive during this year. Some aggressive instincts may be there. So he has to control that.
That we have to school means we have to see deep.
No, I'm saying, the thing is, you are talking about a kid, his life is at school. Honestly, he just spends a few hours at home, maybe, but he spends most of his life at school. That is why I said school. You don't have to look at D24 for that. If you see lot of malefic planets in 3rd and 6th house in Rashi chart, the person is struggling a lot, but overcoming the struggles. And if you are working, it is at work. If you are at school, it is at school. Period. Yeah. If you look at D24, you may find out how he is doing actually at school, whether he is learning well or not. All those things you will see. Actually, if you want to do that, is it a good year for studies or not so good year?
I remember, I predicted.
We are not on border, so let us. You predicted what?
Not predicted. I just analyzed his chart. I thought he will become doctor.
Okay.
I don't know. Like it's 1 year back.
We have to go back to natal chart for that. But let us look at the annual chart temporarily. How is the Lagna Lord and the Hora Lord Jupiter this year? I saw the leeway that we have. We have two. Hello? Namaskar Manish. I mean, at the end of my astrology class, I'm at the end of my astrology class. Can you give me a call after half hour? I'm basically working today. I'll be going to work from here, but I can talk to you. And I can't call you from my cell phone today. So if you can call me after half hour, I can talk to you. Okay. Namaskar. Okay. So Jupiter, he is the Hora Lord. He is the ruler of the year. And he is the Lagna Lord. Is he strong?
He is very strong.
He is extremely strong. And who is he with?
11th Lord and
11th Lord and 6th Lord. He is a malefic, fine. But he is basically, these two are two benefic planets. So exalted Venus and exalted Jupiter are in Arudha Lagna.
right,
And A7. AL and A7 are together. AL is your image at school, relating to learning. A7 is all the interactions, etc. So those two planets being together in AL A7 definitely means very good image, and also moving with really smart people, good people, etc. So this is very good. So 4th house is especially the controlling house in D24. 4th house is the house of learning, and AL is right there. So he is seen as somebody who is learning very well, who is learning very smart. So it's very auspicious. So this is a very good year for the image. And how will he do at school? How will he do? I mean, how will he do scores wise, marks, scores? How he does? The 5th house of recognition that has Mars and Moon, Chandramangal Yoga. That is quite good. And the 5th Lord is quite strong in one house. So 4th and 5th are really strong, these two houses. So there are no problems basically. He will do well, he will be recognized for it, and so on. And also 7th house. Mercury is in one house. It is Manakaraka for Mercury, but still Mercury is in one house. So 4th, 5th and 7th houses are really good. What is the weakness? There is one weakness. Moon is the 8th Lord, but again 8th house is the house of working hard for learning. Sun is with Rahu Ketu. If you ask me, that is the weakest point. That is the really terrible point actually. So what do you think about it? What does it mean?
In the 6th house.
6th house. Sun is the 9th Lord. 9th Lord of guidance that he receives from school. The teachers, the guidance, etc. Saturn is there in the 9th house, already making it weak. As far as the guidance is concerned, it is weak. And this Lord Sun, the intelligence behind the guidance, that is with Rahu and Ketu.
Rahu in 6th house is good.
Rahu in 6th house is good, right? Rahu and Ketu both in 6th house is good, but they are with 9th Lord Sun. There is a big struggle. Alone, Upadaya Lords, 3rd, 6th, all those Lords being in 3rd, 6th, etc. is good. But 9th Lord joining them is not good. And that planet being Sun is even worse. So Sun is being eclipsed, the 9th Lord.
Exactly.
So because of the eclipse of Sun in the 6th house, there can be some struggles, some worries, some obstacles, etc. Mostly because of bad teaching or bad guidance from teachers. There may be some problems at school relating to teachers. Some teacher may turn into enemy, or some teacher may harass. So there is some issue with either some teachers or some elders, some authorities. Sun can also be authority, especially when he owns 9th house. So some authority or some teacher figure, some big father figure at school can give some trouble to him. So that is one problem. And also there can be some fights, etc. We saw that 6th house was active in Rashi also. Here also 6th house is very beaten down. So there can be some quarrels, etc. that he may have to get into at school. So that is the only weakness. But as far as studies are concerned, he will do quite well. Yes.
How do we see the school? Because the 8th Lord Moon is in the 5th house, so and then 8, that is that Lord Venus is with in the 4th house of primary education.
Yeah.
So that means there is a change of school possible. Like how do we see the school? I mean, somebody is to change the school.
Yeah. What is? How do you see the school?
4th is like A4 is
A4. 4th house is learning. A4 is the tangible, inanimate objects relating to the learning.
So A4 means for primary school, and A9 like that we see.
Yeah. Here the learning that we are focusing on is 4th house. So look at the Arudha of that learning. So that is A4. So where is it? It is in Sagittarius.
And then is in Lagna. So there is new beginning. That means
A4 is in Lagna. So learning wise, school wise, things are fine. School is fine. And because it is in Lagna and its Lord is associated with 6th Lord, with a Dusthana Lord. So because of that, and also there is Argala. What are the Argalas on this? On A4? There is Venus and Jupiter Argala, and then there is Mars and Moon Argala. Pardon me? Fifth house Argala. So there are all these Argalas, and there is Argala from 6th Lord, 8th Lord and 12th Lord. All the 3 Dusthana Lords are causing Argala on A4, which is in Lagna. So there can be a change of school.
Because they seem they are changing the location, they are thinking of changing
Yeah. There can be a change of location in this year because of the influence on the A4 Lord. But, and it may be basically after the change, there may be some problem with some teacher, some authorities at school. But overall, study wise, he will do well. He will be seen as a smart kid who does well, etc. Any other question?
The trouble would be in that Sun Dasha, right?
Yes. Mainly Sun and Rahu Dashas. Those are
just coming now.
Yeah. At the beginning or at the end of the year, and also Rahu period is troublesome. But luckily he is not at school that time. So good. So mostly things will be fine. But the thing is, when planets can't give their result, somebody else who has Argala on that house or something, they will basically they will talk to that planet. It's like when I am not able to do something, when I have the keys to the room, if I can't do what I want to do in the room, when my friend has keys, I can make some arrangement with my friend so that he can do my work for me. So still, because such a terrible combination is there, some other dasha may end up giving the result. But the dasha when you can expect the worst results, luckily is getting over very quickly. But in November, December time frame, he should be a little watchful at school, not pick up fights, etc. Okay, with that we will end today's class. We are actually slowly pushing the envelope. We are slowly starting later and later. Actually, I am also at fault because I am coming a little later. But we will try to actually push it a little earlier so that we can finish soon and I can go home before noon, because it takes me an hour. Of course, today I am not going home. I am going to work from here. So what we will do is, we will try to not exactly 9, but we will try to start around 9:15 or so. So let us all try to, because we are conditioned to think that 9:30 now. We don't think of 9. The class is at 9:30, like that we think. So let us think again that the class is at 9 and come at 9.
Actually, before this class started, we were thinking of having, because since the commute is long for you, on Fridays near your office in Uban.
Yeah. Andover.
Somewhere in
Yeah, actually weekday I was also thinking about that.
Oh,
Just today more.
Some vacant rooms.
Yeah, if it is possible. if it is possible to have this class in a either this place is also fine because this is on my way home.
Yes.
So on the way home I can basically come here. So this place or Tirumala mission anywhere is fine. You guys think about it. You guys pursue the option. But Friday is a bad day. Unfortunately, because I have Lakshmi Ashtotram, I do 108 times. I do daily pujas and extra pujas on that day. So Friday is a bad day for some other day. If you think like any day, Thursday is actually a very good day for astrology.
Yes.
I see. Think of some day.
That's fine. Evening, right? Anyway.
Yeah, evening. It's all evening.
So think about it. Wednesday, Thursday, any day is fine except Friday. Friday is the only bad day. So weekday evenings are actually more convenient for me.
Yes.
And also for some people also actually, when we started, Sunday seemed like a good day, but slowly what happens is it basically stops other activities. Because you want to go somewhere on weekend or you want to do something on weekend, it stops. So for some people slowly they just drop out. So if we do it on a different day, it may actually be better. So think about it. You guys come to a conclusion and consult with Seshu and other people who are on.
I work in Boston.
Yeah. Oh, for you coming back.
It's 7 o'clock.
Yeah. I see.
Last time is 6:15 or so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You live in Acton, right? I live in Acton, but I work
Yeah.
in Boston.
Yeah, for me actually, if the class is at let's say 7:30 or something, 7:30 to 9:30 or 8 to 10 is also fine. One day basically, because as long as it is either on the way or close to my work, it will save the commute.
Alternatively, I can come to Lowell, but someone has to pick me up. I won't be having any transport. Lowell station.
I can do that.
So you guys offline you can discuss that.
Yeah.
You guys discuss it with Seshu and other people who are not in the class, and then you guys can make a decision on changing the time, and then we'll discuss it in the next class and we can affect the change. And also these days I am getting very interested in different kinds of homas, so these Saturdays and Sundays are basically an opportunity for me to do. So if we move to a weekday, it will enable me to do some other things also. So we do consider that. We'll discuss and decide it in the next class. You can also use the FJC Boston. Okay, I will end the class today. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.